So, game four, we're going to be going into Pooh is going to stay in the match for Complexity Academy, going up 2-1 after falling 1-0 with a Giant Smurf for Complexity, losing to Rising Storm for Starcraft2Strategy. Then Pooh stepped in and won 2 straight. So now it's 2-1 for Complexity. And now we're going to see Starcraft2Strategy throw in a guy whose name is really hard to say. It is, if you look at it, it's Kawika Kira, but we've been told that it's pronounced Kavika Akita, but we're going to refer to him as the Zerg.
Apparently he's a Hawaiian player. We do have a bio on Kavika Akita. He's a 22-year-old college student, and he became a gamer when he actually blew out his arm after playing select baseball in Washington. So he started his StarCraft history in Wings of Liberty beta, and then he purchased the game after the second season of StarCraft. I'm sorry, the start of season 2. So he was immediately placed into Grandmaster, and he attributes that to watching a lot of HD StarCraft and Husky. And apparently he also offers coaching services. His website is imbacoaching.com, and he streams all the games that he plays at twitch.tv/imbacoaching. You can follow him on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, which I will post all of these at the chat. So you can check him out there.
You gotta respect a guy who's a student and also basically works a half-time job doing StarCraft coaching. That's a pretty heavy load.
Absolutely, and I mean it can be a good income though if you're good enough to do it and are putting out a quality product. Sometimes there's coaches out there who aren't always the most helpful, but if you've got a coach that really knows what they're doing, they can be a great boon to your game, and that's a great boon to them financially as well.
Yeah, it's really cool. The thing I like about this league is that you really hear the stories of the players getting the game, getting into it, and their way of coming up to being a very respectable player. I mean, all of these players we've seen so far are Grandmaster today, and they've all come from very humble roots.
Mm-hmm. A lot of homegrown players, too. A lot of people who put in the time and worked their way up, pulled themselves up by their bootstraps, if you will.
Yeah, so before we jump into Game 4, do take a moment to follow SC2CTL on Twitter. Also, we would be much obliged if you'd follow at WingnetSC and at Gallegation. We tweet about all of our matches that we'll be casting, so we would appreciate that follow if you enjoyed this cast. Also, we'll keep you informed of our upcoming cast. We cast StarCraft 2 Community Team League Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8:30 to 10:30 Eastern. That's, well, let's see, 2 hours behind? I don't do time zone conversions. You can figure, Google can do that for you.
Google can help you out with that. I do see in the chat people are asking what the score is right now. I do believe that Complexity Academy is winning 2-1 at the moment.
That's correct. When we get into game, we'll have a scoreboard up that shows the score, but since we're not, it is 2-1 Complexity to the 1 of StarCraft2Strategy.
And before we go into the next game, do you want to give out a code this evening?
Oh, yes. First, let's explain. Do you have the name of the winner?
I don't actually.
I'll have to find it.
Winner from the last week. But if you've been watching our stream, you know that we do give out weekly giveaways. Nothing too major, just little fun things to thank you and let you know that we appreciate you watching our stream. So previously we did give away the crayon drawing that is the logo for SC2CTL, and for those of you who are Magic the Gathering players, this week we do have a booster pack from Dragon's Maze that's going to be given away. So in order to get your chance to win that, you have to go to, what is it, sc2ctl.com/code? Is that correct? /code. So you go to there and you enter in the first secret code of tonight, which is going to be Space Farmer, all lowercase letters, and that is in reference to what is that? The mule that we decided that
the Space Farmer is a Dark Templar.
Oh, a Dark Templar.
With his giant green scythe.
And these are names of units from people who don't play StarCraft 2.
Yes. So, and Troy, if you're watching, if you want to send me the name and link of the winner of the crayon drawing, my Skype is not showing me our conversation from earlier, but I will have you know that you should go and enter these codes from us, because I was informed that the winner actually won off of the code WingnetSC from our first cast. So that lucky person typed in that code and won. Aha, I have the user here. And the winner of the crayon drawing was Tabishi.
Well, congratulations, Tabishi. Thank you for watching, and I hope you are able to put that crayon drawing up somewhere special and be reminded of happy memories.
Tabishi, Starcraft2Strategy, asking who won the crayon drawing. His name is Tabishi. He's a silver player, and he's going to be hanging that on his wall, I'm sure. But do take these codes, enter them at SC2CTL.com/code, and you can win.
We will have another code later on in the programming, so please stay tuned.
All right, so with that, let's jump into Game 4.
All right.
Game resumed.
In our lower left-hand corner, coming into his third game now after rallying 2 games after their team dropped one, it is Complexity Academy's Pooh.
And in the lower right, the red trunked Zerg representing Starcraft2Strategy, it is Kavika Akita.
More PvZ action tonight, so it looks like we're going to have a lot of PvZs.
Sorry to those Terran players watching who are hoping to see their race represented. It doesn't look like we haven't had a lot of games, at least thus far.
It's like some friendly chat going on between our players here. Pooh here is also the team captain of Complexity Academy, showing a good representation for his team this evening. Curious to see what kind of opening we're going to have here. We've seen a fairly wide variety of them so far from both players. Looks like it is going to be a 1-gate expand from Pooh again. So it looks like a favorite build of his. It's working out pretty well for him.
Thus far, I can't complain too much about that, that's for sure.
He definitely does a really good job of controlling the early game, because like I said before, you know, it seems so fragile, but then, you know, once he can get those units out there to just keep Zerg back in his base a little bit, it definitely is working out well for him. Double gas going down. I expect that he's going to put probably 2 in each to get that warp gate and mothership core up super quick. Expansion going down for the Zerg guy.
Kavika?
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to call him yet. I'll just go with Kavika is alright, but then when I look up at his name in the game, I want to call him Kawi. I like that name. Overlord from the Zerg guy going to be coming into Protoss's base to see what's up. He's probably, if he's been watching his other players' games, that he's going to be expecting
And Kavika's putting down his hatchery in the natural of Pooh here.
I do love this play. This is definitely a fun time. Maybe preempting the fact that Pooh is going to be doing a 1-gate expand and might not see that base in your base too early. So if you can get that up in a couple queens and some spine crawlers, it can be pretty nasty.
Pooh goes in to see the natural. He's going to check to see if there's a 30. Doesn't see one. Is he going to go into the main? Because if he sees how the timing on that spawn pool, he's going to know that something's up. But he doesn't. He's just kind of sitting there waiting for the 3rd to go down, it looks like.
It looks like Pooh has not seen it yet, but he's going to send a probe down to build an expansion, and he's going to find an expansion already there and half done. Mothership core just comes out as we hear her justice call. It's like Pooh is not going to be deterred, though. He's going to put down his pylon, bring the mothership core out, start poking and prodding away at this expansion as the pool is finished. Gas is being mined for Kavika.
And we do see Zealots being chrono boosted out right now. He's trying to get out any units he can to try and delay that. 2 more gateways going down. Oh, it looks like he accidentally canceled them.
Did have him queued up. Base is going to finish. I would expect to see a queen produced out of there relatively quickly, but looks like he's going to... Yep, there comes the queen. Maybe a little bit slower than it could have been. But that money is a thing you need to build the queens. Guys pulled from gas. Queen pops in the main. Ling speed coming down. This looks like it's going to be a pretty good assault, but I'm not sure this queen's going to come out. It's going to be close.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to make it. There's just too much damage going
The goal
down.
here is going to be to get the queen out before he's able to kill it, so he can pop down that creep tumor and deny this expansion, but he ends up canceling it, knowing that it's not going to get out. Unfortunate. It is going to delay him quite a bit and maybe throw off his build, but it's definitely a cool play. We've seen it in a couple of the matches we've casted before, and it's usually worked out to the advantage of the Zerg.
Well, it looks like he's put Pooh in a kind of a dangerous position here. He wasn't able to expand, so he was forced to put down 2 more gateways, and that kind of allows for Kavika to kind of control the game. He knows at this point that Pooh has to put on aggression here. He's got to run in, and we do see that there's not a whole lot in terms of units in Kavika's base right now, but he is putting down a lot of production. He's got Zergs in production, or Zerglings in production rather. He's got Roach Warren going down, so he's getting his forces together, getting ready for this push that he absolutely knows is coming.
Ling Speed is going to finish just in time for this push. Spinecrawler going to hold them off, likely for a moment here as it finishes in a couple seconds. Roach Warren is done, so he can now produce roaches at will. 5 roaches in production.
Second queen comes down. Speed does finish, so the Lings are running in. They're going to go try and get surround on the Stalkers, but they run back, realizing that's not going to happen. The Zealots come in to reinforce. Those Zealots are low on health, though. Their shields are regenerating, but Pooh decides he's going to go home, that he's not going to break that. Although the Lings are coming in and regroup, he's going to be able to get... Oh, he didn't get any kills.
Wow,
there.
That's impressive. Now it's giving him time for roaches to pop out. Now he's going to easily be able to handle this. Try and get a surround on a couple of these Stalkers to trap him in so these roaches can come up and get him. But it looks like he's going to get a nice recall. He's going to get all of his units back. As
in the meantime, there was some Zerglings hatched from those larvae that were left over from that killed off base in the natural. They were able to run in and do a little bit of damage, but ended up getting cleaned up.
That's a nice play too. I always forget about that. Even though as long as that hatchery spawns, you do get a few larvae there, and until that creep goes away, they're gonna stick around. Now
the larvae are robust, man. They don't die easy. They might be the strongest Zerg unit in the game.
It reminds me of that Starcraft episode with the or no, it wasn't Starcraft. It was that comic with the what was that comic?
Baneling Barbecue?
Baneling Barbecue. Oh my gosh, it reminds me of Baneling Barbecue with the one about the larva. If you haven't seen it, look it up. It's pretty funny. Looks like Blink is going to be coming down for Pooh now. Favorite. He's gotten this every other game. Attack upgrade as well. Definitely see similar play out of him here.
Moisture Core is moving in to try and harass a little bit. It did scout out that there was a expansion. I guess he's going to not do that harassment after all. Lings and Roaches were able to clean up a forward pylon that was going to be used to warp in some units.
The difference here is going to be that the Zerg is now getting ahead in bases, whereas the other games with Pooh, he's successfully kept Zerg at least even with him. So it's been able to keep him on a more even footing as he gets his economy going to be able to really get the power units out. But our Zerg buddy here has gotten ahead of him now with a third mining base and scouting out Pooh's third very well so that he knows exactly when that goes down. Fourth base now coming down out of Kawi as well. So this is definitely looking like that hatchery at Pooh's natural really threw him off. More than anything, it just really maybe he screwed up his tight timing and got in his head a bit, because he definitely does not seem to be playing quite as tightly as he did in previous games.
Well, that's exactly what Kavika wanted to have happen. He wanted to force those gateways. He wanted to force Pooh to have to do a lot of early units as opposed to early macroing, and he was able to achieve that.
Also, Kawi getting out some upgrades as well, where his counterparts did not get the chance to do that, as +1 melee attack is just about to finish. 12 roaches about to come out as well. There's a proxy pylon here by the third.
Stalkers moving in. They're getting a couple of drone kills. Oh, look at those force fields and that time warp. They're really, ooh, man, keeping those roaches out. Not a lot of DPS coming in from the Zerg player and a lot going out from Protoss, but they do break through eventually. Another great, well, kind of good force field, but that's the recall and they're getting out of there.
Roach is doing a little snuggle time with the Protoss units, but he was able to recall them. But Pooh is he's looking like he's in trouble, man. +2 melee attack coming down, more roaches, more drones. If we look at the units tab, it is 54 drones of 46 workers. I believe that's the first time that the Zerg player has been ahead of Pooh.
Well, it looks like this is a really interesting playstyle that we're seeing from Kavika. Some may call it cheese, some may call it just a unique strategy. We do see just a huge roach swell coming forward here, going to try and push at this front.
Honestly, I don't really consider that cheese at all. I think it's a fairly strong strategy. I mean, the Protoss rely so heavily on getting that expansion down early with the play of Zergs lately that just, it screws up. Kawi doing some nice dancing action here as the Mothership Core pokes away at some of the roaches. But yeah, Pooh
Oh, and
has
it looks like Pooh actually walled himself completely in, so he did have to kill off his own forge to get out.
oops a daisy. Pooh how he's strutting his stuff out there with those roaches, having a little dance party. So 4 bases successfully up. Looks like some spine crawlers coming down. Burrow coming out as well. So looks like some Burrow roach play. Cowie knows that he's so far ahead right now. Food is 159 to 111.
And spreading those forces around, he's going to try and flank this army, it looks like. Baiting him in a little bit, and then come the Lings from behind. Oh, but good force fields.
Ultimately, force fielded himself from being able to proceed with his attack there, but...
Yeah, but he did prevent the flank, which it looks like Kavika's going for it again. Time warp going down, and he's going to get out of there. More roaches coming to reinforce. That queen looks like it's going to fall. Oh, but great micro gets it out of there. And again, going for that flank.
Oh, nice surround coming with the roaches.
But look at that. Oh, he drops. Oh, he drops the barricade down on those roaches, and they're forced to go around in the meantime. Giant battle here. Those stalkers up against the wall. The roaches are coming back around. Force field trying to get them out of there, but it's not going to go well for him. And this is just a big snuggle party. Trying to blink down the ramp. And they're going to get some good drone kills, and the roaches are forced to walk around.
Cowie definitely showing his APM there as he's doing some burrow micro for a show, I'm guessing. GG from Pooh. So that was a commanding comeback from I got this name from Kavika. He definitely just put a wrench right in the gears of Pooh. And Pooh just seems so strong in the last few games. It definitely seemed like his play was just really thrown for a loop with that, whatever you want to call it, off-the-wall strategy of putting that hatchery down there.
Yeah, he was really able to get in the macro game and build up his economy to be able to afford that roach swell, which he was able to move forward with, and really just shut down a lot of that stalker blink play with it.
So Pooh has made his showing for his team. He's been eliminated after winning 2 games for Complexity. And Kavika coming in for Starcraft2Strategy, taking a win back. So it's going to put the ball back in their court.
So now we're sitting at 2-2. Even score for our 2 teams, Complexity Academy versus Starcraft 2 Strategy.